Hello everyone and welcome. If you're watching the replay, please bear with me while everyone jumps on. Hello. Okay, the stand keeps messing with me. Okay. Hello everybody. Hello. So I'm going to wait for you guys to get on. Today I'm doing a message from the Baron of the Cemetery about death. Because I've been asking him a lot about death lately and the process of death. So, and basically a lot of other things. Thank you. Thank you, Gecko. Hello. Hello. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start the message. But first, I want to remind you all that tarot course is open for enrollment. So if you want to learn how to read tarot with my method, go ahead and go to my link in bio and sign up. Okay. Also, if you would like to learn how to tap into your own magic, you can join my magical VIP group, which is also in the link in bio for subscribing for the monthly subscription. And what else? There are some items left, a few items left in the High Priestess May collection, magical collection restock. So if there's anything that you guys need to get, there is some things available. Not everything. Most of the things sold out of the restock. And then the next restock will be the next launch, which is in the spring equinox. All right. Hello. Alrighty. So today I have a message from, like I said, the Baron of the Cemetery about death. Okay. So he brought to my attention the fact that a lot of people don't expect spirits to change after they pass. They don't expect spirits to ever have changes in their likes or dislikes. Most people believe that exactly how the person was on earth is how they will be in another life. Okay? But the Baron of the Cemetery wanted me to share this with you. He's saying to me, most of you think of death as soon as you are on the other side of the veil, you are dead forever. And you don't understand that that death itself is actually only the process of the transition between this world and another world and another dimension. The veil is simply that, a veil between dimensions. And the transition of death, you do not stay dead when you die. Your soul does not stay dead when you die. Your soul goes through the process of death, and then it reaches elevation or the steps of elevation. And when you reach the steps of elevation, you are alive again. Because the spiritual realm does not define death by the switching from one vessel to another. The spiritual world, this side of the world where spirits reside, we have a much deeper understanding of the process of death and life and what defines to be alive and what defines to be dead. Again, the word death, that is simply the process of transferring from one dimension to another. And that process of transferring from one dimension to another can take in the human world up to 70 days. In human days. But truly, if your loved one reaches all of the gates and completes all of the rites of death, then at that moment, your loved one is transitioned to another dimension. In the dimension where they can choose to continue elevating and not stay too close to the earth, or where they can choose to be in a dimension where they want to interact with humanity or with their descendants. It is a very sad process, that's very true, but for the soul, I need you to understand that when the soul is done with its process of death and it starts its elevation process, your loved one is alive again in another dimension. So because they don't have a physical vessel like you assume that your loved one is gone forever. What you need to understand is that you do not need a physical vessel to have a relationship with your loved one. Your loved one is still there. They are simply across the veil of a different dimension. They are no longer dead. They are alive in a second dimension. Yes, in not the second dimension, but in a second dimension. Okay? So you must understand that simply because your loved one does not have the physical vessel does not mean that your loved one is gone forever. If they allow themselves to complete the process of death and rebirth into another dimension, they will be able to communicate with you if that's what they wish, or they will be able to continue along on their elevation. Also, your spirit guides are not dead. Your spirit guides are alive as well in another dimension that is much higher than yours in the sense of understanding of spirituality. So your spirit guides are not dead. They've already gone through their process of death, and they went through the process of death, and they chose to become spirit guides because they no longer had any immediate family to look after. So they become spirit guides, and they become spirit guides to many. So, therefore, your spirit guides are simply alive people on another plane. But they are no longer human. They are their true self, their soul self. Because to be human is really the definition of this vessel, of every vessel. So again, death itself is just a transition period between this world and the other world, where you get to be alive, but you simply just don't have a physical vessel because the physical vessel belongs to the third dimensional beings. It is sad for humans to lose a loved one because during the first 70 days, your loved one is going through their trials in the underworld. And during this time, you as the descendant or you as the family member that was close to them, your energy is also drained during the process of judgment because your higher self is present at the judgment. So you will feel more sadness, grief in the first few months because your higher self, or a month and a half or so in human months, because your higher self is present at the tribunals for your loved ones. So you here in the physical world feel drained and saddened. It is a natural process. You must allow yourself, or you must eat things that will raise your vibration and will give you more energy to withstand your higher self being occupied. You do prayers in the first beginning weeks for the elevation. Your prayers are considered in the judgment of souls to see what dimension that soul is to be going to. So the prayers of loved ones are received in favor of the soul that is going through their weighing process. The tribunal is really not a trial as many humans believe it to be. It is not a judgment. The tribunals are a progress report. The tribunal is a progress report of how you have done life to life, what you have learned and what you still need to learn to determine if you need to go back into the third dimension to experience more and to address more, or if you are going to stay close in the fourth dimension, close to the loved ones that you have on earth. So it is not a judgment. It is a progress report, is what you would call it. So it's important, like I said before, to think of the process of death as a temporary moment and understand that only life is continuous. That's all that I have for you today. Alrighty, everybody. So that's all. That is all. I just wanted to come on and give that message from the Baron of the Cemetery about death, and because he thought it was extremely important for everybody to realize that souls don't stay the same. They can change on the other side. They are in the sense of they can change their likes or dislikes. They can continue growing. They're living beings. They're not dead forever. All right. Many blessings to you all. Have a great night.